have one where I talk about my body a little bit, but this one is just me as a person and who I am. Also, I've met it in a while, so I hope it. It's called Desirable. I am desirable. I am desirable. My existence is valid. My presence is pleasure. Hi, you're okay. My name brings holy joy. My smile warms you and reminds you of brighter days. My laugh eases the stiffness underneath your lungs and tickles your breath until you laugh back. The song in my voice oils the gates at your inner and they slide open and you feel. In my eyes, see, I saved the best for last because my eyes twinkle like Christmas strings and let you remember your faith in love and being taken care of. Looking into their soft velvet browns, it's like reaching out for a hand to hold, finding one, rejoicing in a warmth that gets tired to wrap their fingers around yours. I'm desirable. I am loved. Thank you. You say aw? I'll Thank you. Okay. Ooh. This is the part of my performance where I do crowd participation. And I love doing this. This is my favorite thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name?
Benita.
Benita, nice to meet you. I'm Ariane. I like to know who I'm, so I can call you out if I need to. Okay, so let me give a little spiel about this, about why I want to do it. Where's it go? So I have this vision. I actually had this vision this morning because I was stressed about what I'm doing today, and I wanted to remind myself why I want to do it. I think that I love that we do art so much. I love the people that have been around in Indy. I just moved out here in March, and just to be, and I'm from South Bend. Anybody? South Bend? Hey.
It's a long trip.
Yeah. And I wanted to sort of like why aren't we living in art more often? You know, why aren't we now my example in my head is like when people, in Greek times or whatever, when Greece was like big thing, like Plato, Socrates, all those times, and how people would just do poetry and art just as like the thing to do, like as your job, like not just like as a side thing to enjoy on the weekends, but like that's literally what you do. Yeah, people would just sit on stairs maybe. I like paintings like that. Yeah, they would just like do a lot of this and just talk about like fountains. That probably eating grapes. Yeah, we should bring that back. I like more fountains and grapes. And so my goal in practicing this skill here is to get to a point where I can be commissioned to provide poetry. So I like the idea of someone telling me, I'm getting married, loving my life, and then we have time where I sit with that person and we talk, and I write a poem for their spouse, and I present it at their wedding, and that's like as a commission. That would be the same thing as commissioning painting, commissioning song, whatever it is. So in practicing this, when I do it with people in a crowd like this, I do it in under 5 minutes. So it's a short poem, and what I'm going to ask is that a volunteer. I will ask you questions. I will ask you for something that's really meaningful and important to you, and I will write a poem about it in 5 minutes or under. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's the disclaimer to that. So, who's gonna volunteer? You look like you want to. Yes! I'm proud of you. Yes, because it's scary because you don't know me. I could do anything. I'm crazy. Okay. Remember your name again? Skylar. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you is to think of something that's like really emotional for you right now. Something you feel really strongly about. It could be any emotion. It can be angry, happy, sad, or if you want, I can do that. So whatever it is that you're feeling really strongly about, there's no subject that I'm like, it's not, I can't do a poem about it. Like I wrote a poem for her earlier, if you don't mind me saying, about how she feels about being a minority and being talked to like she doesn't know what she's talking about, so, and she was angry. That was an angry poem. That was good. So, hit me.
Determined to grow, but scared to go a different path.
tell me more about that. What are you, if you can go as many details as you want, but what is it that you're determined to grow in?
Myself. I want to be the best person that I can be. But I want to do big life changes and benefit myself. But I also care a lot about a lot of people, and I want to care for them too.
When you say scared, what are you scared of that might happen? These are all positive things you're going towards.
Yeah.
So what is it that scares you?
Losing people and being afraid that I can't do it.
Give me like which one's greater in you? The feeling that you're scared you can't do it, or determination? Which one's like heavier?
At the moment, the scaredness.
Right now, the scaredness. Okay, so people who kind of just walked in, I call it intermission because I'm cultivating a skill where I come up with poetry on the spot for people, and I sort of get an emotion from someone and I write it in 5 minutes or under. So far, I've always been under 5 minutes, so I'm excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and read this poem that I wrote for Skylar. Okay. A train shakes and roars, a steady clicking noise marking its passing. Standing above it, I am flying, slipping, gripping its gray sheen. The motion is fast and I am breathless. Arms out to balance me, chin up, focus on my destination. Faces blurring past, voices torn upwards, hands reaching. Keep up or get left behind. Wow. What do you think? Is that what you were telling me earlier? Is that what you were describing?
I like that.
Thank
That's amazing. You are amazing.
you so much.
Leave them in the dust, guy.
If you felt that. Okay, what's the date today? 17th. Yeah, I should know. Okay. Here is this.
Thank you.
And also, so I should also say this too. If you would like me to do this for you, it can also be sort of like a therapeutic thing too, an inspiring thing for yourself in your life. Definitely get my contact info and we can sit down and talk about it, and I'll write something for you. It'll be longer, but also at that point, I'm trying to make money as a person, as an artist, so please pay me. So that's really it.
Yay for paying artists.
Yeah! Woo! Okay, so now that I did that one, I'm gonna do a couple love poems. Is that okay? Love poems, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just do this just in case, because it's been a hard week and I don't always have everything memorized. This one is called Love Poem Number 1. Yeah.
Hello, Brittany.
Thank you. Thank you. When we meet, that day, night, afternoon, or morning, when we meet, our souls touching through the cracks of their shells, the sparkle overflowing from our eyes to dance in the air between us, sweetness pouring out of our mouths, static clicking through our palms, hovering near each other. When we meet, will you even know you're the one I was looking for? How lost I've been, misreading signs, thinking directions from confused strangers. I forgot how to navigate, how to follow simple instructions. I had tried to chart my own way, to write a new map to get to you. I deliberately delivered myself to the wrong address, a damaged package. Thought it wouldn't matter, that you'd fix my wear and tear, because for me you'd be a doctor, a soldier, a magician, and a gymnast. You will become my world, rounding in the jagged edges left by those who hurt me. But that's not fair, because when we meet, I'd have to be ready to be the same for you, to be your everything. If I were to be for you what I want you to be for me, I'd be your conscience in the darkness, the chapstick for your painfully dried lips. I'd have to be the soft pillow for your aching neck, the hot filling soup in your previously empty bowl. I'd have to love you the most. more than I love me. I just don't feel good about that. I don't want to train my heart to shoot out a single beam of concentrated, distorted love that'll pin you down no matter how hard you struggle. Rather, the light in me is meant to shine out, to envelop all of me before reaching you. I'm meant to adore my skin and all that it encompasses before I ever touch yours, because when we meet, I will love you the way I know to love me. How does that feel?
You are an artist.
Thank you.
You
thank
are
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say, like, anything you see about me being like doing this like this is honestly just thanks to open mics. Like, because when I came out here, I had just graduated from nursing school. I'm a nurse. I'm always stressed and busy and like crying at work. Never beginning. I definitely had a few times I had to go in the bathroom and just. But so I started going to open mics again just so I can release my emotions. Like I'm in front with my little notebook. I'm like, sorry for being here, basically, but I need to release my emotions. And so it's been amazing to like release that and get to where I'm like, I'm a poet and I'm a performer and I'm doing it. And just, again, all through open mics. So every time you go to an open mic, every time you go support somebody, every time somebody invites you to a Facebook event and you're like, I'm bored, I'm not doing anything else, I guess I'll go. Thank you. Because that's what makes artists do it more. So thank you to you guys for coming. And supporting people.
Nursing.
Yeah! RN?
Yes. 17 years.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're sitting down.
I'm enjoying tonight. Artist.
Yeah, I'm an LPN. I've been working like a little bit over a year, and I'm already just done with it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have people to do years and everything. No. Nah. I mean, it's my calling to care about people. I like people. I like old people. I've been working in long-term care, but it does get exhausting, and it is exhausting to work in an environment that isn't good for you or very supportive. You know, I can't do the same thing just for money when I'm not enjoying it. But that's about nursing. I'll do a poem about nursing a different day. That might be my second English one. Okay. I think if I got it either. Okay, so I think I got this one, or just like what's in my head, but if I don't, I'm sorry. I'll go back to it. This one is called Superpower. And it's about guys again. So, about men again. I wrote this one to sort of, because for me, it also felt like I was repeating the same pattern with men over and over, and I felt like if I'm doing it over and over, it's because I need to learn the lesson over and over. And I thought, well, hopefully if I write it, I won't do it anymore. So I wrote it, probably happened a couple more times. and then I feel like now I got it. I feel like I learned it, and I'm just don't need to learn that again. So, okay. I have a superpower, and it's a curious one. I mean, I really have a few superpowers, but this one, let me tell you about it. You ever just feel so confused by how something great can turn bitter so quickly? And then it's so bitter. You ever just don't understand why? You ever just want to ask why? I do. I'm asking you why. Why does it have this superpower when all it does, time after time, is hurt me? I wish I could return it or just erase it. Because I'm no stranger to the important stories. I know the superpowers are given to you for your own good, your betterment, yours and everyone's around you. I also know that the willingness to go through the struggle to learn how to wield it is what actually turns you into a superhero. The alternative outcome is an explosively sad one. An all-consuming and non-discriminating black hole that swallows all, so please, teach me how to wield this. Teach me how to control the way men fall in love with me. Or at least, teach me how to stop it when I feel it happening. When the cute boy tells me his life story. When the sexy, reclusive, bearded beast comes out of his shell and smiles into my sunshine. When the lost, blue-eyed lunatic finds something to focus on in me. When the expressive hood nigga whose skin is more ink than soft brown finds himself not only opening doors and he's like close, not only opening doors that he's kept closed for years, but going as far as to dust off furniture, opening curtains, setting out placemats, making himself comfortable for me. Because as amazing as these journeys get, they always come to such a painful end. Me and the cute boy, the beast, the nigga, we get to a point where he just stops, he just backs off, all the way the fuck off, and I'm left wondering what I did. The cute boy, the beast, the nigga, they just get up and go, and they don't just leave quietly in the middle of the night when I'm asleep, at least likely to notice or make a scene. No, they make sure to smash all they can on their way out. They do their best, their absolute fucking best to break my heart, and they do all they can to make sure that when they leave, I won't follow. And I don't. But mostly because I'm still confused as to what it is I meant when I leave in the first place. Over the years, slowly, as I swam against the pain, at times keeping just my head above the current, I've learned to cross things off that list of reasons. It must not be my fat body because they saw me as me from day one. I'm not boring, jealous, or unkind. I'm hilarious. And I like to argue. Talking to me never ends. But at the same time, I'm a great listener. I'll hear things you didn't even say. You just showed them to me. You drew them in the air with your hands. You shot at them with your body. You whispered them with the way you moved around me. So is that it then? Am I too good to be true? Are you so afraid that if you let go and let me, you might die? Were you terrified of the way you were starting to depend on my presence, on the way your days were incomplete without my gaze on you? Were you just starting to realize that not everything is forever? Life is short and death comes to us all and all things, and you just couldn't bear the thought of losing me before you even really had me? Because you could have had me. You could have had all of me. I would have given you my all, my stars, my shine, every fiber of my being. My every smile would have been flavored with you. That must be it then. I'm too good for you only because, I'm too good for you, but only because in your shakiness, in your drunkenness, in your hurt, you crush me. I'm too precious for you, but only because you're not good enough for you. So I take it back. Teach me to fall in love with a man that knows his own worth. A man that will recognize the pricelessness of the gem that I am, but still be certain of his own clarity, his own shine, his own diamond roughness. A man that isn't afraid to hold himself to the ground so he can fall faster. For me. Teach me to fall in love with a man that loves himself. That one's kind of long.
It's beautiful.
You are an artist.
Okay, this one's really cool. This one is about my grandmother who raised me for not a long time, just a few years, but she's really important to me. And I'm from Africa, I'm from Rwanda. And so I have a couple words in this poem that I translate right away, but they're in there. And I want to say, I don't think I've done this poem with other African people in the room. So, what's up, hey? So I just want to say really quick, I guess if I vocalize this, I probably won't feel it. So one thing that, trying to think, in healing from past hurts in my life, from, just being raised in a not not a really good environment, it's hard to talk about it because we're raised to just respect our parents no matter what happens, no matter what it is. Don't talk about it. It happened in this house and that's it, you know? And maybe a lot of people can identify with that, but it's like really strong in me. And so it's been hard when I was like going through therapy and healing from it to talk about it. And then writing poetry makes me super just vulnerable about it. So I don't know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's hard to do this poem because I got other African people in the room. So thank you for the challenge. I will get through this and just hopefully just give you the same feeling I get about my grandma versus my mother. So it's called Mama Mukuru. Mama Mukuru literally translates to bigger mother, although grand fits it the best because my grandmother is a treasure. She has always celebrated me. They tell me that when she first saw my round cheek infant self, she exclaimed over my chubbiness, the thickness of my ankles, the darkness of my feather curls, and she nicknamed me Chibuchi. Now that translates to cute fat baby, a state I continue to live in. Is it any wonder it's the only name my family knows? My grandmother raised me to be strong, open. She would shave my hair down because she believes that children grow best when fresh air, nutritious sunshine can blow directly into their brain. Now I didn't care, will never care, that makes no sense because all I knew was that spending that hour with her buzzing over me was a gentle time. And it was immensely more preferable than all the minutes, seconds, hours my mother spent with her hands lost in the thick brushes of my hair. When cutting my hair, my grandmother leans close, smells sweetly of church candlelights, and asks me what I'm thinking. When braiding my hair, my mother sits back on the low, heavy couch, one hand hotly gripping my shoulder to stop me from jerking, the other dragging a cold and sharp tooth comb up through my tangles. She smacks her lips, remarks she has no time for this being me, my hair, and loving me, and she pours melted chemicals on my head to straighten it. Now, is it any wonder I felt completely blissful, capable of running miles into the sky, but only during the summer months when I was bald, scalp-free in the wind. And like an inverse version of Samson, the slow return of those inches sapped on my inner strength the way they invited my mother's attention back to me. My grandmother prays with a strength unknown and unwavering patience. When she would firmly remind my cousins and I it was time for the nightly rosary circle, I would raise up my voice and whine just like them, but inside I was comforted. To this day, I cannot think of anything more peaceful or safe or loving as the feeling in that living room with the blue moonlight shining quietly through the window, its curtains waving gently. Warm milk and honey lovingly weigh me down from my middle. Her deep, melodious Catholic chants pulling me to a sleep so mellow, so enveloping. Is it any wonder I relish the company of grandparents? Mama Mukuru Wanye, grandmother of mine, is it any wonder I also aspire to be a grandmother? That's it. How you guys feel about that? How you guys feel about that? You felt it? Thank you. Whew. What time is it? How much time?
There's a clock right there, but you go as long as you want.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do one more. Yeah, I'm going to do one more. My favorite one. One thing that I like to tell people about this, because, look for me. I tried out for America's Got Talent on Monday.
Nice.
Nice. And so it's not like this first time wasn't in front of like on TV or whatever. It was for the producers, and then they call you back in February. So stupid, yeah, it's so long. Thank you. So when that happens, hopefully I'll go up there. I just want to be aired and just see what happens with that. I'm pretty sure I was the only one doing poetry. Like all the staff was like, they were surprised and stuff. So it was really cool, and I'm just waiting for that. But if not, it still is amazing to me, like to myself, that I felt the audacity to go do that. Like who gave me the right, like just out there. Like I don't have a guitar, I don't have nothing, like no magic tricks. I didn't even have a cool outfit. People had really cool outfits out there, like because we were in line. We were in line for like 7 hours. I promise you. Me and my siblings. My siblings hated me. By the end of it, we were hungry, tired.
in Indianapolis?
It was in Detroit. Yeah. Which drove to Detroit, and it was cool. It was cool. We were there at 1 o'clock, left around 9.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I met a lot of cool people, a lot of different people's talents, a lot of dance groups, and then the people are just like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, just poetry. And but it was really cool. So this is the poem that I did there, and this is the poem that I hope to do, because when we actually got to the room too, it was only 90 seconds. It's about your impression on the producers, so I didn't get to do my whole thing. I'm gonna do the whole thing now. And I call this poem Ballerinas because I was watching a video of ballerinas dance, and it was amazing. I'm crying. Like, these girls are so good. I'm crying. They're just all this body bending, and at the end they're like, that was the age group from 7 to 9. I was like, those were babies. That's crazy. Like, that is so cool. So I was even more emotional, and I was crying. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Blah, 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 blah. So then this poem came out of that emotion, and this poem is also really meaningful to me because it's the first poem that I performed as a performance. Like I was saying earlier, like to switch from releasing my feelings to like, here's the thing that I created. Please like it. It was a huge thing for me to do that. So I don't know. I love this poem. I probably don't even ever need to practice it. I'll always know it because it was my first one, and is just like a shout about me. So here you go. I'm gonna get more water. Just so I want to sip. It feels like this whole time I've just been waiting, wondering, asking myself, when will I start? When will I get my shit together enough to start, to begin? Where will I find the strength so I can gather it and use it and just be better? I love watching ballerinas. All dancers really, but ballerinas bring about this extra bit of sacrifice, of pain, of salt. Maybe it's in the cords of muscles you can see and really almost feel through the screen. It's in the sweat pooled in their collarbones. The gasp of surprising length that comes out of nowhere when they fall or stand into a split. The impossible bends and turns their entire bodies contort into to make you feel the way they can make their toes bounce their entire body weight right before folding like a flower petal under the rain. I wanted to be like a ballerina. Not a ballerina, but like a ballerina, I wanted to be able to sacrifice that much. I wanted to be able to pursue something with that much intensity. I wanted to be able to one day get up and run out of my sleep towards my goals the way these doll dancers do. So I was in the middle of filming wearing that courage, that bravery, that strength when it hit me in the chest, and I realized that I have been doing this. I have been rushing headfirst towards a goal. I have been sacrificing. I have been practicing. I have been putting my all into something, and trust me, I have been intense about it. I have... Shit. Excuse me, it's been a long week. I have been making this describe who I am. I have been a dancer, a runner this whole time. To have survived. To have lived through the experiences. To have floated in between up and down. To have been raised by two people so afraid of the smallness of their light that to try and crush mine because it reminded them that without me, they stood in the dark. To have been so lonely, so voiceless. to make it to this, to make it to a point where I put value on what I feel, to make it to a place where I don't into a project thinking of this space. This has been a great work. This has been a dance recital, and I had no idea I was in it. I thought I was part of the audience watching the show and dreaming about, thinking about maybe one day auditioning, when it turns out I've been the star the whole damn time. I thought I was a child on the sidelines watching great runners sprint by, wishing I had longer legs to keep up. And not only did I have the legs, I was running too. I was flying. I have been excelling. I have transcended. I am very sorry for messing up as much as I did. Oh my God.
That's beautiful.
That's fucking
Thank you.
weird.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you, thank
Felt
you.
like I could relate to like all of that. Everything
Yeah.
you just said.
All of them?
Everything you just
Yep.
said.
So where can we find you on social media?
Yes, I'm on Instagram and Facebook and everything, and I will take your email or whatever, everything. Instagram, Ariane Cyusa, it's spelled Ariane. My last name is Cyusa, it's spelled CYUSA. And I'm sure you recognize which one it is. I have like this very open, happy face. And same thing on Facebook. And like I said, it's really awesome to be given a chance to, you know, give and share and get better at this. So hopefully next time I practice a lot more and I don't mess up. But thank you, that's my time.
You are amazing.
Thank you so much. We're going to have about a 15-minute intermission, and then Taylor and Hunter will be up with some acoustic music. So stick around and help yourself to refreshments, and holler if you need anything.